and we're just going to ask them a few quick questions. But before we do, could you guys introduce yourselves and say what you do in the band?
Sure, I'm David. I play guitar in the band.
Daniel, I sing.
All right, so how did the band form, and were there any hurdles that you had to overcome before your 2011 release?
Our debut record? Yeah, I mean, we all met in high school, and the only hurdle was that we were on a label called Capitol Records, and they ended up not releasing the album, although we recorded it with them, and then we ended up releasing on Plus One Records, which was pretty cool. So.
And is that working out better for you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we get to be more creative and more free with what we do, and touring and recording is a lot easier. It's been great.
So, how would you describe your sound to somebody who hasn't heard it already?
It's rock and roll first and foremost. Some pop, some Motown.
Some pop. It's like you're describing a salad.
Some pop, some croutons.
There's a lot mixed in there. Would you say your parents' favorite songs growing up inspired some of your musical endeavors?
For sure. I think for us too, most. Oh, actually, Billy also. Billy as well.
Yeah.
I know. Well, John's dad is a big Beatles fan.
Yeah, he showed the Beatles. I think in high school we were kind of the kids that thought that our parents had better taste in music than most of the kids we went to high school with. So I guess that's kind of can be rare.
So I read a little bit about your recording process, and I saw it was kind of unique. Do you want to share anything about that?
Yeah, well, the recording process this album, second album, is very different than first. First was really just wanted to have our live show sound like our album, because we had we still do have an energetic live show. We wanted to just bring that to the studio, and that was it. This record is a lot more laid out. We're a lot more mature, and we know what we're doing in the studio, so we spend more time with it. It's a little more organic, and there's a lot more instruments and layering, but it's actually translated live, maybe even better than the first record.
So you've played with some big acts like the Kooks, Vampire Weekend, and Fun. What's been your favorite band thus far to tour with?
Postelles Interview. Yeah, they've been great. This tour's been great. I don't think we've had a tour where we've felt there's been so many people on the tour that are all so nice and fun.
Except for Fun.
Except for Fun. Fun really fun. The Kooks is great. We always love the Kooks. Their second album's one of our favorites, and so we like them a lot.
But no, you're right though. I mean, Arkells and Ambassadors' tour is just everyone gets along, and it's been really nice.
Every night, they come out and play with us. We play with them. It's been cool.
Mm-hmm. So, could you tell?
Young, so I wouldn't say we didn't have the Postelles yet. He just saw us at a cafe in New York City, and we stayed friends. We stayed in contact, and then when we had the Postelles, we sent him 1, 2, 3 Stop, a really early demo that we did somewhere. I don't really remember, and he really liked it, and that led to him doing the album. So, of course, he produced half of our first album, so it totally affected our sound.
So, how do people react when they hear a song that you wrote about them? So, for example, Boy's Best Friend or something like that.
Wow. I don't know. It's a really good question. They haven't reacted towards me yet. We'll see.
We try and keep it a secret too.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So.
I mean, there's songs we say name, like Stella. I say the name, but there's no one named Stella. I just always like that name. People react, but I haven't got any death threats yet, so I'm okay.
It's probably too awkward. They probably realize it's about them, but they don't want to confront.
Are you trying to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
1, 2, 3 Stops about me.
So we've heard the single "Caught by Surprise," and we're really excited for your next album. Could you tell us what you're most excited for your fans to hear on the next album?
What songs?
What's your most exciting part of it? So any aspect or any song. Yeah,
well, the aspect is just that, like I said, we recorded it very differently. I think we've grown so much as a band by touring these past few years, and we knew the studio so much better. And I'm really proud of every single track on this record. If I had to name a few, I would say "Heavy Eyes" is a new track I really like, which we really brought all these different instruments together. Billy, the drummer, plays mandolin on it, which is cool. And "Parallel Love" is a slower song that I love. Which are some tracks you like?
I think the cool thing about this record is it's one of those records where there might be different things you hear each time that we maybe didn't have on the first time, since it was more of a live vibe. But here you'll hear weird sounds or different things going on, and it might take a few listens to kind of make sense of everything. So that'll be exciting.
Are you saying it's our Sergeant Pepper's?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
So, what do you have planned right after the release of the album? Can we expect some tours?
Yeah, there's no question we're going to be on the road. We've always been that type of band that, even though this album is a little more, it was definitely a studio record. It's translated really well live on this tour. This tour we used to play the new songs and see how people react, and it's been great. So we're definitely on the road for sure.
So, do you have any cool pre-show rituals that you do before you go on stage?
Yeah, we will.
Did you want to demonstrate one?
Dan takes a bath and we all wash it.
Oh gosh, that would be
Pre-show.
I wear bathing suits, so don't get.
That's what
Get
counts.
Yeah.
We drink. Well, the bath is full of whiskey. Also, that's the other thing. It's a bath of whiskey. We have a few drinks and we hang out. And like we said earlier, this tour has been great for hanging out with the other bands, which has been really nice. It's a good family vibe backstage, so that's been good. We sing "I Shall Be Released" before every song together, which is Bob Dylan wrote that song with the band.
Get our vocals going.
Yeah, and Billy stretches a lot. There's a lot of stretching.
He has bananas sometimes.
He has. Well, last
Gets
night he had,
potassium.
or not, a few nights ago he had a banana. And John sits a lot. He's a professional sitter.
Meditates.
Meditates, yes.
How would you describe your presence on stage? How do you get the vibes going? I have a few friends who have been to your shows before, and you blew them away.
Oh, it's very sweet. No, we always love playing in DC. I'm assuming it was in DC. Well, thank your friends, because it's a lot about it's a lot about the fans and the energy from the crowd. I mean, if you play a show, we are a good band if there is no energy in the crowd, we can sometimes build it up or just have fun with ourselves because we've known each other for so long, and we can just sort of, laugh that off. But when the crowd is really into it, and we've had that in DC a lot, it's so easy. It's really effortless,
And that leads right into my next question. I was going to ask, every fan base is a little different, so what makes your fans special?
What you said?
Our fans.
Well, they like us.
They're good dancers for the most part.
They really are.
Like, I feel like some bands have crowds that definitely just want to hang out and watch, whereas we get the fans who like to go to shows to really move around. So that's really good.
And they have good voices.
They have good voices. They sing along. So yeah.
But most important, we're from New York. To travel around the country anywhere, and people show up and have a good time and sing our songs is just the coolest job and thing in the world. So that's
And our last question: what's your favorite part of being in the Postelles?
Yeah. Well, just what is that again? Sorry. Just being able to, as a job, write songs, travel around the world is amazing. We see every once in a while sometimes we're in some pretty, crummy places, and it's like, I can't believe we're here right now. What are we doing? But sometimes we're in a beautiful place, and we can't believe we're this young, and our friends are at some 9-to-5 job in New York, back at home, and we're in this amazing, beautiful city. A city like DC is actually a really special place, and we know DC almost like a second home in a way, and no one else gets to have that experience. That's a really cool part of it, the travel, except for yesterday.
Oh, I heard you got stuck yesterday.
We got stuck. We were in the van for 12 hours yesterday, and that was not
Yesterday wasn't one of the highlights of the band.
So I take everything I said back.
All right, well, thank you so much. That's
Thank
all we
you.
have for today.
Really
Look
good
at your
questions.
show.
Really sweet.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.